I trust these automata weapons far more than any mortal ally. Their machine spirits have served our chapter faithfully for centuries, and are sure to stand where mortal hearts succumb to fear. Just like us, they know no fear.
The Sons of Medusa are a successor chapter of the Iron Hands. Founded during the Nova Terra interregnum of the 35th millennium, this fractious era of civil war would be characterized by squabbling factions across the length and breadth of the Imperium. The Adeptus Mechanicus diverged on their doctrinal beliefs, leading to internal warfare within the ranks of the machine cult. The Forge World of Moirae, foremost in their opposition to the orthodoxy of Mars. Believing the words of the Omnissiah and God Emperor to be contained within geometric patterns of the Astronomicon psychic beacon, the translations of such data referred to the overthrow of the Martian priesthood and fusing the ecclesiarchy into the fold of a new machine cult. Moirae burned by the will of the Fabricator General of Mars, its rectification fleet reducing the surface to ash. Yet the heretical teachings of this divergent creed spread across the stars. The prophetic wave calculations of Moirae's tech mystics adopted throughout many outposts of the machine cult. Several Tech Guard regiments and even Titan legions defected to the Scions of Moirae. It would not take long for division to spread within the closest allies of the Martian priesthood, the Sons of Ferrus Manus. The disciples of the Iron Tenth divided as Iron Father Setol Solex embraced the teachings of Moirae. Infighting threatened to tear the Iron Hands apart, yet with the intervention of the Iron Council, an accord was reached. Those who wish to follow the teachings of Moirae must embark upon their own destiny. Exiled from their homeworld, these estranged sons of the Gorgon signed a treaty to never raise hands against their former brethren, given leave to take a third of the chapter's numbers to forge their own path as members of their similarly banished kin from other successors of the 10th, bolstered their ranks. Conducting their duties as before and earning glory for their actions made in the name of the God Emperor. Over time, their heraldry of old morphed into new arrangements, with 3 new clan companies comprising the elements of new kinsmen to their cause. Surviving through to the 37th millennium, known as the Age of Redemption, the High Lords of Terra sought to bring order to the fallout following the anarchy of the Schism. For 2 centuries, these exiled Iron Hands had proven loyal to the Imperium, and judged pure from mutations, heretical teachings, and corruptions by the ruinous powers. Ratifying these warriors as a new successor chapter of the Iron Hands, the Sons of Medusa reorganized their numbers and adopted new heraldry with the blessing of the Emperor during 001.M37. Despite the protests of the Adeptus Mechanicus and several Space Marine chapters due to the violation of the typical circumstance of founding such a chapter, the Sons of Medusa earned an unimpeachable reputation, winning campaigns in the name of the Imperium against the most desperate of odds. Scavenging weapons from their fallen foes, it is rumored by many that their willingness to purge disloyal chapters of the Angels of Death is merely a means to acquire war gear from such renegades. Reputed for their service during the great cull of the remnants of the Nova Terra interregnum, their zeal in laying waste to their charges proved harsher than even the methods employed by their primogenitor. Earning further glory during the Belrath Crusade, Angevin Crusade, and Badab War, the Sons of Medusa's reputation as carrion crows of war does nothing to diminish their effectiveness in battle. Entrusted with their own chapter world, Talus, during the 39th millennium, as reward for their service, the fortified asteroid station surrounding the mining system housed the chapter's gene seed banks and most secure armories. In close proximity to the holy site of Moirae, the 3 chapter fleets of the Sons of Medusa revere the site of their holy beliefs and find great solace whenever resupplying at their home system. Receiving the Primarch's gift of the Avenging Sun, Rabute Gilliman, during the early years of the 42nd millennium, due to the chapter's marred past, the Torchbearer fleet assigned to deliver Primaris Space Marines to the chapter was reinforced with increased numbers of Custodes. Though Clan Lachesis accepted their reinforcements willingly, other clans such as Magera and Atropos proved more resistant to the prospect of assimilating these newly sired sons of their primogenitor. Eventually accepting that such a display of the Emperor's guardians proved beyond a shadow of a doubt that these warriors were an extension of his will, the chapter's service during the War of Beasts, Iron Crusade of the Second Relief of Mordian, and assault on Domhal has proven the effectiveness of their Primaris kinsmen. Dividing its forces into 3 war clans, Magera, Atropos, and Lachesis, each in turn divides their number into a battle, tactical, and support company. Though the chapter does not maintain a dedicated scout company, and instead inducts neophytes into each of its war clans, each fielding over 300 Astartes at peak performance. War Clan Magera encompasses the 1st, 4th, and 7th companies. Clan Atropos includes the 2nd, 5th, and 8th companies, and Lachesis the 3rd, 6th, and 9th companies. Notorious for their harsh treatment of neophytes, the Sons of Medusa forgive no weakness and reward failure of any kind with turning their unworthy recruits into servitors. Due to their lack of a dedicated chapter master, the chapter command is outlined by the Council of Three, each war clan led by an Iron Thane, supported by a clan captain and dedicated chaplain. Utilizing tech marines in excess of most chapters of the Astartes, when brought into conclave within the Chamber Ferrum of the chapter, the tech marines enforce the will of their Iron Thanes and advises the Council of Three. Largely codex compliant, with only slight deviations from their inherited clan hierarchy of their primogenitor, the Sons of Medusa, alike to their forebears, abhor the weakness of flesh and ritualistically replace their organs and limbs with synthetic replacements. Armed with among the most powerful weapons of any Space Marine chapter, whispers circulate that the chapter is capable of constructing new Dreadnought chassis and rare variants of Land Raider tanks. Hurling themselves into the most bitter conflicts with no restraint, these disciples of the Gorgon relentlessly advance on enemy positions, fueled by righteous hatred for the detractors of the God Emperor and the Omnissiah. Upholding the Moirae Creed, albeit in a much twisted version, influenced by the teachings of Ferrus Manus, the Sons of Medusa use unknown methods of auto-prescience to reach war zones before they burgeon. With their adoption of Primaris Space Marines into the fold, rumors persist that such Astartes exhibit the gift of foresight, further bolstering their auto-prescience for battle, and as a result, further alienating them from the Adepts of Mars and their founding chapter. Taking little to no pleasure in succeeding in battle, every engagement is merely a duty to be upheld by their cold and calculating Space Marines, seeing each defeat as a flaw to be rectified. Clad in emerald green ceramite trimmed with black, each Astartes wears white helmets and marks their war clan affiliation on their right knee plate. Tech Marines of the chapter painting the insets of their pauldrons Martian red and adopting the symbol of the Chamber Ferrum on their right pauldron to identify their rank. Depicting their squad number with high Gothic numerals on their left knee plate, each Astartes denotes their tactical role with black paint on their right pauldron, centered with white high Gothic numerals to identify their company. The symbol of their chapter, a stylized skull on an 8-pointed iron halo. Each war clan varies in the color scheme of the design, with Clan Magera using white, Atropos using sable black, and Lachesis using silver, each upon a field of emerald. Aggressively striving to further prove their reputation as among the most deadly warriors of the Adeptus Astartes, no matter their glories won in the name of the Emperor, the Sons of Medusa shall never fully absolve themselves of their controversial past.